Several years ago, during a White House summit for scientists, a noted scholar observed that in the biosphere, independence means death. In other words, for life to be a reality, interdependence is a necessity. As another scientist put it, the future either will be ecumenical or there will be no future. I agree, though I likely would use the word interfaith or interreligious rather than ecumenical. Either the future will be interreligious in nature, or we will not experience the full meaning and potential of the future. Those observations crash into harsh realities. I know. Our nation is divided, and unfortunately the religions of our nation reflect the same divisions as do our politics and other endeavors. Not only are religious traditions divided from each other, within respective traditions, devotees are divided among themselves. So is cooperation possible? Has different become a moral category? Can we live with our deepest differences? And does fellowship with people holding beliefs different from ours compromise the integrity of our own religion? I commend to you a vision. The source of the vision throbs close to the heart of most every religious tradition and cements with strength the very foundation of our democracy. It is a vision of walking together. Allowing that vision to shape our rhetoric and to influence our actions is a spiritual discipline that now also is best understood as a social necessity. Walking together means sharing a pilgrimage with other people, not becoming just like them or seeking to make them just like us, not demanding uniformity in thought, but seeking to discover the strength and beauty of diversity, walking together, modeling the reconciling nature of true religion, enlivening our democracy, helping the poorest and the weakest among us, assuring that personal love finds expression in social justice, and seeking community, both in local neighborhoods and throughout our global village. It's a journey. No one has arrived. All are on the way. No one pilgrim has any compulsion to judge another. All are moving in the same manner, some almost sprinting, some hobbling, some just getting one foot in front of another, but all growing and all occasionally stumbling, each paying attention to others so that when people fall, everyone helps to get them back on their feet and moving again. Now, to be sure, the individual politics and religious convictions of the travelers differ dramatically. But coming to know each other on the journey, the pilgrims' respect for each other's dignity causes them to speak to one another with civility. Special interest and partisanship are respected, though neither is allowed to destroy patriotic cooperation aimed at securing the best of the public's welfare for everybody. Adjectives that stereotype persons and agitate divisions recede in significance. We're walking together, rich and poor, Asian and African American, gay and straight, successes and failures. Now, I must be honest. The religious tradition of my childhood looked at this vision with suspicion or outright rejection. Growing up in West Tennessee in the 1940s, I had never met a Catholic. I knew one Jew, and people of other traditions, Buddhists, Muslims, Hindus, and Sikhs, for example, were considered lost, with a possibility of being saved only if they embraced a faith identical to mine, a very fundamentalist Christian faith. Thankfully, the more I studied the scriptures of my tradition and learned of my faith, and the more I allowed that faith to grip my life, I came to see faith unthreatened by truth from any source, open to dialogue across all lines of division, unconditionally committed to freedom. Freedom is faith's best friend, and inclusive rather than exclusive of other people. Indeed, it has been within the Christian tradition that I found the vision of which I'm speaking. But the vision of walking together is one shared among many religious traditions. In the Christian scriptures, I see Jesus walking together with his disciples, and later two despondent pilgrims on their way to a place called Emmaus, finding hope in their realization of the presence of the divine mystery in their walking together. Reading the Hebrew scriptures, I'm captivated and inspired by images of the ancient people of Israel journeying together toward the promised land. Among Muslim brothers and sisters, I ponder the meaning of the Prophet Muhammad walking together with his followers from Medina to Mecca. Of course, the very concept of journey or pilgrimage is often used as a synonym for any maturing religious experience. Cooperation, despite differences in opinions, walking together, is not a goal projected in spite of faith, but because of faith. We seek to walk together not only because it's a practical necessity, but because it is a primal act of religious integrity. And it is such a practical endeavor. Think of civil rights advocates walking together to secure the full promise of the United States Constitution for everybody and to realize Martin King's dream of a beloved community. Recall images of diverse people joining hands to walk together across a field in search of a child in the community who has become lost or been harmed. Friends, we can do together what no one of us can do alone. I leave you with words inspired by spirituality and a passion for a civil society. Words the embodiment of which in us is as urgent as our next breaths. Here, please, this paraphrase of the Mayflower Compact. We pledge to walk together in the ways of truth and affection as best we know them now or may learn them in days to come, that our children may be fulfilled, and that we may speak to the world in words and actions of peace and goodwill. Here is truth worth observing, a covenant worth celebrating, and a spiritual discipline worth practicing. I commend to you the vision of walking together, and I hope to see you on the journey.